Are you okay?
I don't know. Maybe. Hey, I just realized something. Where's Brandon? He was supposed to. Ah! Hello, everyone. Welcome to another installment of Movies and Matt. I'm Matt Dro, and here with me today is my very special guest star, Brandon.
Hi.
How does it feel to be on the show today?
Feels good. It's a little dusty in here. I'm not gonna lie. So if I sneeze on you, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's the allergies, but it's a nice set. So what are we talking about today?
What are we talking about today? Well, I'm glad you asked, because today we are talking about the filmmaker, producer, and musician simply known as John Carpenter. One of the greatest filmmakers in cult classics. Early on in his career, he made one of the most iconic horror franchises yet with Halloween in 1978. And since then, he's made films that bombed at the box office for some reason. I guess 80s audiences weren't ready for those. And slowly but surely got the cult status that they deserve and are widely regarded as some of the best films in horror. And here we are talking about it today. So, my question for you, Brandon, is what was your first exposure ever to John Carpenter?
Probably Halloween on TV for 5 minutes when I was like 5, and then I ran away crying because death was a hard concept to grasp as a 5-year-old. But probably something like that where I went, Mom, what's going on with that guy in the weird white mask?
My first ever exposure with Carpenter was also Halloween.
Okay.
Because there's a YouTuber that I watch a lot, and he did some video essays on Halloween. And I guess that encouraged me to look at the first Halloween. It was really 2020 when I really started getting into more of Carpenter's movies. And since then I've been more of a fan of his work.
That's crazy 2020 for you, because I've been watching Carpenter. When I was younger, I would use my allowance to go to FYE, because FYE always had a buy two get one for like $1 sale. And I would just stock up on used DVDs. And I think I was like 12. So probably 2010 was when I was buying Carpenter films.
That was the time when I thought Toy Story 3 was the greatest movie of all time. But I slowly learned now it's Toy Story 2.
It's not that one either, but okay.
So, what would you say is one of your favorite aspects of Carpenter movies?
It's how he kind of like builds these little isolated worlds, but they always feel lived in. The characters feel like they've been there for a while, even though he might have like some undercooked plot lines or even characters and scripts. I think it's like an Escape from New York.
I think it's like the atmosphere that sort of makes up for it. Even something like The Thing, where like they're on this abandoned base in like the Antarctic or something. Antarctic, like it feels like they've been there for like maybe a year or two. Like you could sense like this camaraderie between all of them. So when the titular Thing like starts popping in, like you just see like their trust for each other just slowly decrease as the movie progresses. And I think that's a very interesting concept for a film.
Yeah, especially in The Thing, how characters interact with certain objects in that film, like McCready, Kurt Russell, where he's playing that one game. You feel like he's been playing this game for like 9 years because he's just so fed up with it and tired of it. He just pours his drink in it, completely destroys it.
Yeah, that was a good one. And Kurt Russell, he's like a frequent collaborator on John Carpenter projects. Yeah. He was on Escape from New York and Escape from LA. One is great, the other one
very much not.
Is not really. He was also in Big Trouble in Little China.
Well, do you know the whole gist of like Kurt Russell's character in that movie?
Yeah, because the whole thing is like, at first watch you're like, oh, Kurt Russell's just the white savior in this story about Asian people. But then when you really look into it, it's like, wait a minute, they're making fun of that trope by like having Kurt Russell's character be like completely useless. Like you could literally take him out of the movie and nothing would really change.
So I was so confused, because I think I was 13, 14 when I first saw it. I was so confused why the main character was just like some goof that didn't really benefit anything, you know?
Sort of like a Psycho, where like they like switch main characters halfway through the film.
Is that a spoiler? Fun trivia, Janet Leigh in Psycho is the mother of Jamie Lee in Halloween, which are probably the two most important slashers in slasher film history. So there you go.
Yeah.
A little fun, obvious fact. So we've kind of talked about his earlier work.
Yeah.
Have you gone past like 1994.
Highest I think I went was Escape from LA, which was 1996.
I have a big fear because I love Dario Argento.
Yeah.
Same kind of time period that Carpenter came up, and Argento kind of came up. You know, through the 70s to the 80s, late 80s. They were very consistent with these great kind of unique films that had a lot of their filmmaking personality in it. And then once the 90s hit, it went downhill. And I saw Dracula 3D, and it almost made me cry. It was so bad. So, because of Argento, I'm scared to, like, do I really want to watch Ghost of Mars?
It's actually mentioned because the 90s actually holds my favorite of Carpenter's movies, which is In the Mouth of Madness, starring Sam Neill. I guess I just like the whole idea of like a movie about like authors and like how like their way of storytelling can sort of like create like problems in themselves. Like you look at movies such as like Spike Jonze and Charlie Kaufman's Adaptation, where that's all about like trying to adapt a screenplay, or even something like Rob Reiner's Misery, which is about how like an author has to deal with like the toxic fan culture. That movie is way ahead of its time.
Probably.
But no, In the Mouth of Madness just has like I like how Carpenter like takes that concept and is like, let's just put some horror into that, and you can tell like it's a little bit of a knockoff on authors like Lovecraft and even Stephen King, which is funny because Carpenter in the 80s directed Christine, which is based off one of King's stories.
Do you think Carpenter in the Mouth of Madness is kind of taking the piss on Stephen King?
Probably.
I saw Village of the Damned. That was bad. Really bad.
Funny you say, because I actually really like Village of the Damned. I don't think it's one of his best movies, but I think it's on its own. It's like a nice, fun sort. I view it sort of the same way as like The Fog.
Okay.
Where it's like sort of just like a story you would tell around the campfire.
Yeah, something simple. That's a lot of his movies, though.
There's actually one Carpenter movie that I think stands out from what I've seen. Starman with Jeff Bridges, which didn't it come out around the same time as E.T.?
I think it came out '83. So
oh yeah, so like a year after E.T.
Because E.T. came out June 11th, 1982. What about Starman do you think stands out compared to most Carpenter flicks, besides just genre?
There's definitely a lot more sweetness in the film. Like you could definitely tell Carpenter's focusing more on like there's still like the creepy element because Jeff Bridges' character is an alien.
He is a hunk.
That was like probably one of Jeff Bridges' early roles.
Yeah, I don't know how far back he goes. Was he in the Last Picture Show?
Yes, that was. I love them. That's a really great.
Never
movie.
seen it. People don't like Starman. I love Starman. I think it still has like a hint of that Carpenter cynicism, just like tonally.
Yeah.
The way the movie feels, but it's just so amusing to me to see like Carpenter kind of nail like all these little sentimental like Spielbergian like awe-inspired shots and character interactions.
I almost forgot. We forgot about like one of Carpenter's best movies, They Live.
They Live, starring professional wrestler
Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper. Wait, you want to finish? You want to do the big thing?
What? Oh yeah. I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Give me fingers. Give me fingers. That was good. I like that. You nailed it.
I still think like movies like In the Mouth of Madness or The Thing are better constructed movies. But to me, They Live has like the most thematic presence of all Carpenter's movies.
And like I said, it's a schlocky B-movie plot, and it's almost like overcomplicated, but that's kind of what makes it kind of amusing. With the glasses and the big reveal and all that.
Yeah, like the glass. He'll wear the glasses, and it's revealed that Earth is just controlled by these. Especially nowadays, that movie gets more relevant as it gets along.
Oh yeah, all the commentary on capitalism and who's controlling, the narrative, who's controlling the media.
Yeah.
A lot of celebrities are kind of drones in the plot, and some are kind of more vocal on it, in some ways that they should and maybe shouldn't be, like Kanye West, but But I think what makes They Live stand out, because that might be third or fourth favorite. It's probably the one I've seen the most other than Halloween. It's got so much personality and so much character, and like it has a lot of balls. Like it has an overlong fight scene.
Oh yeah, the scene between Roddy Piper and Keith David. That's probably the best scene in the movie.
And they play it so serious, but it's so absurd and so funny. So I think They Live is probably the Carpenter film with the most personality. But you did forget another big Carpenter film.
I did mention Escape from New York.
No, you talk more about Escape from LA.
Oh yeah. But Escape from New York. That's another cool one.
Probably his most lived-in looking environment.
Yeah,
It's very post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, that movie's had a lot of influence because that Cartoon Network show, Billy and Mandy.
Oh my gosh, dude.
One of the characters.
Do you know of the game's Metal Gear Solid?
Yes.
The whole thing is just Snake Plissken. The character is literally, his name is Solid Snake? Rock Hard Snake? I don't, something like that. But
they don't even try to hide it.
He has the eye patch, he looks just like Snake Plissken. Talks just like him.
What would you say are your top 5 favorite Carpenter movies?
Halloween, The Thing, Escape from New York. After that, I would probably go Assault on Precinct 13, which we didn't get to talk about. And I would go They Live.
I forgot about that. I did actually watch that earlier this year. That's a really good one, and that was one of his first features.
It's one of his most brutal, too.
Yeah, you can tell it's early Carpenter, but you could see like the seeds start to like grow for what his style would eventually become.
A lot of good editing in that one.
Yeah.
It's one of his best edited, I think.
As for my top 5, I would probably pick like In the Mouth of Madness, The Thing, They Live, Escape from New York, and Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Dark. We didn't talk about that one either. It's got Satan in it.
You're right. I'm wearing the horns.
I'm wearing the ring. Happy Halloween, I guess, you know.
Or, yeah, I can't wait for the people in November to watch this one.
Can I do the outro?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
Tune in next time as we talk about Sex in the City 2.
No. Join us next time, and I'm going to be here with another special guest star, Diego, as we talk about the films of Wes Anderson. So with that, thank you, Brandon, for being on the show today. Always a pleasure. Well, I've been Matt, and this has been another installment of Movies with Matt. Join us next time. Peace, and watch more movies.